Today's Pack-a-Punch broadcast is presented by Vesta Nutra. Vesta Nutra, where we can help make sure all your supplements pack a punch.
Hi, folks. Welcome to Pack-a-Punch Podcast presented by Vesta Nutra. Vesta Nutra, where we help you to make sure all your supplements pack a punch. I'm here with the illustrious Val Richard.
Greetings, everyone.
Hey, Val, how's things been going?
Fantastic. Just fantastic. Loving Christmas. Love it.
Christmas is upon us, I have to say. What is it, 10 days before Christmas?
Yes, it is. Something like that. And I'm just excited about it. And it's kind of cold. And I'm not even, when it's cold before Christmas, I like it. I wish we had a white Christmas, but the real winter comes after Christmas. It's usually pretty warm on Christmas.
That's crazy. I mean, a lot of our Christmas have been like sunny and 30.
Right.
All the snowmen have been melted away in the drains.
Right.
I'm melting.
I remember a while back when we had the Super Bowl here in Indiana. And it was freezing cold all the time. And then Super Bowl came and it was in the 60s, almost to 70, I think, during the Super Bowl. That was the weirdest thing.
That was incredible.
Was it January or February? I couldn't understand that.
That was phenomenal. And at that time, I was still living in Chicago. And I couldn't get down there to appreciate it. Amazingly enough, it was closest I've ever been to a Super Bowl. Couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Somebody
friends. Was bribing God or something because it was the weirdest thing, how warm it got just for the Super Bowl.
That was really crazy. And it got rave reviews. With the great weather and the centralized setup, Indy was chronicled as one of the best Super Bowl cities ever.
Yes.
I find that hard to believe, but hey.
Oh, hey now. Come on. Indianapolis rocks.
Sure it does. Okay.
It does. I love Indianapolis.
Indy is a great city. And for the Super Bowl, the way it's laid out, it couldn't have been a better backdrop for one of the best games in the world.
Right. And we also have the Combine that happens every February, I think.
It's in March, Combine's in March.
That's pretty fun.
Oh, it's awesome. All the athletes coming in and all the young girls that are following.
Oh, goodness.
Are you going to be an athlete?
I actually worked in the hospitality industry when we had the Combine a couple of years, and it was really fun to have all the athletes coming through and all the sponsors, like Adidas and Under Armour. Everybody was renting these giant rooms in the hotels and transforming them. It was really neat. It was really cool.
Yeah, it's big money, and it's a huge part of the NFL's rebuilding and structuring their teams. It's mega.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we have that here in Indy.
Yeah.
It brings a lot of what I call revenue and it puts a little spotlight on us.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is always good. I mean, being the motor capital and the speedway and all that's one good thing. But we're slowly becoming one of the sports capitals of the world.
Yeah.
With our NCAA being centered here and the NCAA coming here every 5 years guaranteed with these type of combines. I mean, it's been very, very good.
Yeah.
And he's been blessed.
Yes. I like it. I like it a lot. We've got some good restaurants and we're getting better restaurants all the time and it's good stuff. I
just hope they stay open through this COVID crisis.
Well, speaking of COVID and football, you were telling me about a player that had some complications from COVID or something?
Yeah, Florida had a star keynote player that was hospitalized. He had been a COVID survivor, and he just collapsed face first on the court.
Oh, my goodness.
He is now in the hospital in intensive care. I think he may be in an induced coma. They're talking about he had COVID heart. So, I mean, this COVID thing, all the fundamental things have been discussed, but they haven't talked about a lot of after COVID. So this is one of the first real victims of an after COVID effect.
Yeah.
So,
now, was it football or was it basketball?
He's basketball.
Basketball, okay.
So falling face first on a hard court, never a good scenario. There was a big sound bite on TV where they were showing him literally just falling out.
Wow.
Terrible. We got to say a prayer for that young man.
So that is related to COVID? It's heart.
They're saying he may have something like a COVID heart, which may have induced failure of his heart. And they're not really sure. Like I said, they're not really sure about a lot of things. I mean, people talked about COVID brain, COVID lungs. So depending on how your body's set up, how your immune system's structured at the time, it could be who knows what.
Right. I did read an article that talked about the after effects of COVID, and it talked a lot about your lung situation and your heart stuff. Now, I haven't experienced anything, out of the normal for me, and I just hope and pray that, now it's been 6 months or so. I don't know, probably more than that since I've had it. And everything seems to be okay. But I do hear a lot. In fact, I had a really close friend that had COVID, and she had it for like 3 months. She was experiencing effects, and she was having some stroke effects.
Oh yeah.
So it's
And there's a football player, Cam Newton. He had COVID. He hasn't been the same since. His game has gone to crap.
really.
He's had the worst season ever.
Oh wow.
I mean, he can't make passes. Nobody's talking about it, but pre-COVID, he was looking like a superstar. After he came back, it was night and day.
Oh, my goodness.
Sad scenario. They haven't talked it up, but athletes that have had this, it's starting to show up in different ways.
Wow.
So it's something that I think we're going to have to look at closely and say, after COVID, it's not really over. I mean, how do you look at the ripple effect?
Right.
How does it impact your body?
Well, I know one thing, COVID or no COVID, we always need to fortify our heart and make sure that we're, giving it everything we can to help it. I know one thing that we have here at Vesta, it's called MK7, which is actually vitamin K2.
Oh, yeah.
And it is a strong, strong ingredient for heart health. Let me just explain a little bit about what it does.
Yeah, what does it do?
The vitamin K, it goes into your blood system, and it kind of makes your blood, it increases the viscosity. So it kind of makes your blood slippery, is how the way I like to describe it. And it makes everything, all the plaque and the calcium buildup and everything, it'll start to loosen all that up because it's making everything slippery. And the beautiful thing about vitamin K2 is that it has, I call it a little school bus. It has a built-in little school bus, and it picks up the little loose calcium and loose plaque, and it carries that calcium, the little school bus, it carries that calcium to the parts of your body that can actually use it. So your bones, also, they need calcium. Your eyes, your teeth, all of these things benefit from the calcium. So the vitamin K2 little school bus that goes through picks those things up and carries it to the parts of your body that can use it. And I just think that's really, really cool. I think that's an amazing ingredient. It's also doesn't have any toxicity, so it's not going to gather in your liver like some vitamin K2 will gather in your not your liver, your kidneys, and cause some kidney failure kind of situations. But because this is MK7 and it's a different kind of vitamin K2, it's not going to cause any of that in your kidneys.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's such a great product. And the other thing about it, I'll explain ours. I'm so proud of Vesta's MK7 vitamin K2 because it's completely natural. It's completely from start to finish natural. It's extracted from the bacteria that grows on natto. Do you know what natto is, Richard?
I'm familiar with it a little bit, but I'd like to hear.
Have you ever eaten natto?
I'm not going to talk about it on the air.
Natto is a Japanese dish made of fermented soybeans.
Yes.
And I've looked it up on, YouTube and stuff like that, and it looks pretty weird. I'm trying not to say bad things about it, but it doesn't look good. And I've heard that it smells a little bit like ammonia.
Oh, yum. That's always an appealing. Make mine the ammonia smell, please. I'll take a double dip.
A little extra ammonia on mine.
Yes, please.
But I guess the Japanese people have had great heart health. They're known for really good heart health, and it's because they eat a lot of natto, which is their famous dish over there. So someone discovered that you could extract from the bacteria that grows on the fermented soybeans of natto. Mm-hmm. You can extract the vitamin K off of that. That way you don't have to eat the natto. Hallelujah.
Well, that sounded like some damn good eating to me, but I'll go for the option too.
Right? So they extract it from the bacteria. So the way that we have extracted it with our proprietary, situation that extracts it, it is done completely with no solvents. It's all just completely natural. No solvents, no hethane, no mexane, none of that stuff to screw it up, and make it harmful.
Awesome.
Completely natural, and it's 100% transform. So again, that means that's the industry word for totally natural.
Awesome.
And it is just great. And we carry it in a few different strengths. We have 0.2%, we have 0.5%, and 10,000 ppm, which is 1.0%.
And just to kind of reflect, Why is the no solvent thing a big issue? A lot of people may not understand how solvents actually impact
Well,
processing.
the big thing right now is organic and natural and all that kind of
Huge.
stuff. You
Huge.
don't want to put any of that junk in your system that you don't have to. So anytime you can get a natural ingredient, you're just way better off, And so this
So there are
one,
chemical additives to complicate
right, exactly.
efficacy.
So this one's 100% natural. It's awesome. And I just love that it does that for your body. It not only breaks up the calcium, in your arteries and stuff like that, but it's going to carry it to the parts of your body that need it while keeping your kidneys healthy.
Awesome.
And it's a really strong, powerful ingredient.
That I would say, not to say a specific age group, but the people that are over 30 and 40, that could be a plus
Absolutely.
in regards to keeping their cardio system at its peak performance. I like that.
Right. I wouldn't even say 30 to 40. I say even the younger, I don't know how old Cam Newton is, but sounds like all of us could really benefit from this. You can never go wrong
How
with.
how can somebody get some MK7?
Well, you can call us up here at Vesta. You can write me. I'm Valerie at VestaNutra.com, or you can write Richard at VestaNutra.com.
How you doing?
We can help you with that. Or just go to the website, VestaNutra.com, and there's a place that you can ask the questions about, getting a quote, or you can ask us anything you want. We're here to talk. We want to be your friend.
And then MK7, I've heard so many good testimonials
Yeah.
in regards to the cardiovascular rescue factor and how it actually does give people just a really good feeling.
Right. I have a customer that has made his own formulation with MK7, and he puts some vitamin D and a couple of other things in there in his formulation. But he testifies that it has completely turned around his heart situation. He was in almost to a point of having a widowmaker heart attack. He had the big scan done and all that kind of stuff. And he was, at any moment, he could have just plopped over, I suppose. But he has completely, with his formulation, turned around his heart problems, and he is completely clear, and he's got good scans. His doctor's given a complete check off of his health, and he owes it to MK7. He'll tell you it's all about MK7.
Awesome. Do most people take that in a pill or powder form?
Well, we sell it in a powder form. It definitely would come in a pill or a capsule. You can get it in an oil, not from us, but you can get some kind of oil situation going on there. I don't know where you'd get that, but we have the powder here, and so we can make tablets.
One of the best sources from the yeast bacterium and the natural egg. So I'm thinking that's really awesome.
I don't know why you said yeast, but
I'm sorry,
bacteria.
soybean.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yes. So yeah, tablets, capsules. I don't know if you can just take it in a regular powder. I suppose you could. I don't know how you would mix that up, but that's up to you. You can decide that.
Well, I'm just thinking from a perspective of health and cardiovascular, MK7 stands right there at the top. And I think that those points that you brought up were very, very engaging. And the testimonials speak volumes to why people would like to put that into their system.
Right.
I'm thinking, what a unique ingredient, and with so many benefits, I have to say, from our Vesta perspective, it's one of our best movers, and it's for a good reason, because it does work.
Right.
With the gold standard and plateau of cardiovascular being the priority, I think it's a win-win.
There are some people who can't always take vitamin K too. It might have some interactions with medicines they're already taking, like warfarin or Coumadin or something like that. I'm not exactly sure the science of all that. But we do have another natto product called Nattokinase, or Nattokinase, depends on how you want to say that. It's also made from the fermented soybean bacteria. It's extracted from that, but it doesn't have the K2 in it. So this is going to just be more of a blood circulation thing, helping your blood flow properly. And it's interesting, before I even worked here, my brother went to a doctor, and the doctor, I love it when doctors think outside of the medicinal box, and they think about some alternative and holistic medicines, because that doctor told my brother, start taking Nattokinase. And I remember being in a GNC store and hearing and asking my brother, what did the doctor tell you to take? And he was like, Natto. I go, what? Natto. Can you spell it? N-A.
Natto.
I must have looked really funny in that store,
I
but
bet that was funny.
yeah, I thought it was great that doctor would recommend that. Easily that doctor could have said, "Oh, go take some statin drug or something."
Something
some
from
pharma.
Pfizer or Lilly, yeah.
But instead said take Nattokinase. So I thought that was pretty neat. So that's another option too.
I mean, it's the supplement community, like I said, is really awakening and finding these are the alternatives that make sense.
Right.
And I'm glad that we're in a position to actually bring those to the world.
Yes.
And we here at the Vesta Farm, the Vesta family, want to say that it's been a wonderful, wonderful day today. And I want to thank you very much for your insight on those products. And hey, guys, don't forget to check us out at Pack a Punch Podcast. And it's, I believe you can catch us on the info at vestanutra.com, Pack a Punch, /Pack a Punch.
All right.
So
that was a lot of words.
Yeah, Pack a Punch. You got we're at Facebook at Pack a Punch Podcast. Just give us a call.
Yeah, or just go to vestanutra.com. That's the easiest way.
You can always see us. Well, thanks, Val, for joining us today. We want to say happy day and Pack a Punch.
Woo!
You've been listening to the Pack a Punch broadcast, brought to you by Vesta Nutra. If you like what you heard today, please share, like, and subscribe.